Paco and humanity. Planta Sapiens. I've been looking for a place to debut my work. This, Planta Sapiens, Paco, Natalie. To be brief, I am the she Einstein of consciousness. Through lived experience, not contrived experiments, laboratory equipment or anything. It's a special area of knowledge that one kind of wants to repudiate tools. That's consciousness. It's not mechanistic. It's a framework we have no words to talk about, really. It's a very big problem. Makes me the she Sherlock of human functioning. Einstein, consciousness. I did the thought experiments through lived experience, staying alive. I lost nearly 90% my ability to walk and talk in my 40s due to a toxic mold exposure. I Humpty Dumptied myself back together, rewired like a stroke victim, self-engineered a Kundalini awakening. You see, we go to consciousness, we got to pull back as the dawn of everything. I love what you're doing here, Paco. You go places. You don't follow the linear. You do concentric thinking. This is what I need help with. I'm looking for a sabbatical. Bring me to Mint, please. You need another philosopher. A philosopher of physiology. Quantum physiology. Because the she Einstein, it's just, I'm going to be world famous for thought experiments. But also, EM equals C cubed. What's faster? Why do you have to square the speed of light? Why? He picked the square because of the MV squared, which Emily du Châtelet, French woman, nobody in history knows. All the men. This is alongside your book. We got some referencing to do. Stealing Fire. Trance. EM equals C cubed. EM, electromagnetism, equals consciousness cubed. I'm playing around. We're going to do this out loud. The greatest scientific revolution, the 2020s, out loud. We're going to put it on YouTube. I have put it on YouTube. Another one. And to bring me to Mint, we'll make some money. And do some global citizen science. Because here's the thing. If we nail down consciousness, we need to have a new, interest in being human, right? Because what we must do, is unite as one species in order to solve planetary problems like climate change, the ever-escalating burdens of chronic disease and mental illness, and the dehumanization of plantation capitalism. Get me out of the U.S. of hypocrisy, please. 2-year sabbatical. I spent time in Madrid after college. Prepared. Or some money for a symposium, just to help me get there. I got a puppy. That's the only thing. Alongside altered states of consciousness, flow states, and plants being sapient, she Einstein of consciousness. I got really excited there. Let me stop back. I am a Carnegie Mellon degreed philosopher. Everyone's prejudiced against me because I only had a Bachelor of Arts. You need to be outside the system to do this kind of seriously next level synthesis. And you need to know the secrets about flow state. Shh, right into that stuff. Phytocannabinoids, though. Yo, let's not get it twisted. You must, I don't know, I love the website. So, I didn't dive into each individual person and into experiments, but, dude, talk about cannabis. But let's also talk about the elephant in the universe. Cannabis. Phytocannabinoids. Altered states of consciousness. Now, I'm in all of this. I am a strange loop. Douglas Hofstadter, and he's a pal, Daniel Dennett, and also Dave Chalmers. You know, all the philosophers of consciousness. 500-page books, and I'm a strange loop. Douglas gets it the best. And I can sum that up real quickly for you. Dan Dennett says, I mean, it's all programming. He can't get quantum. There's our problem. Look, the quantum informs us, and we inform the quantum. You see that equivalency? It has to be. Now, there's biphasic, 2 phases, evolution. No consciousness and consciousness. That's a very big statement. Let me do it through evolution. Natural selection, no conscious intelligence. Then, get me to your Sapolsky. Where's Robert Sapolsky? Stanford. You know, if I become a researcher at Mint and can get some meetings with UC Santa Cruz and Stanford on my way over. All I'm looking for is one person to listen to me. Greatest philosophical evolution this decade and a scientific caper you want to be part of. Getting a working definition of consciousness so we could get all of us involved in this, right? 8 billion. How do we get us all thinking as one species to solve climate change and everything else, to change our behavior, to see each other as one species, not all these categories and genders and classes and nation states and whatever. This is a real big problem. We can take the science, I'm telling you, back to plants. What consciousness is. I'm the philosophical creator, developer, Darwin's ghost, alongside you also, you know, all of, the xylem and the phloem. Here's the deal. You know, when you bring up Christoph Koch, David Eagleman at Stanford Neuroscience, I've got enough data plots, just like Einstein, just like Darwin did. Darwin and Einstein. It's actually, they both did the same thing, but the Darwin experiment is where he plotted through the paper and the little red dot, the movements of the growing of the plant. Einstein, in his miraculous year, please bring me to Spain. It's great. It's out of the U.S. of hypocrisy. Right? On my way to Africa. So that's perfect. Stop. Miraculous year, Einstein. Okay, photoelectric effect. That's what he got the Nobel for. And all this little relativity things, motion, E equals mc squared. And he did a third paper on Brownian motion. I have not done my Wikipedia research. That's my Zanzi. Zanzibar. That's why we're on the way to Africa. Can't be one species. We don't demolish racism. We are all African ancestrally. You got to see all these things. So none of these people on consciousness, they're not talking about altered states of consciousness. This is the exact same principle of this, the elephant in the universe. This is the whole 100-year search for dark matter. So the whole history of, astronomy and cosmology and particle physics and back and forth and gravity this all's contained in the philosophical hypothesis of bio-electromagnetism, a unifying theory of human energy, potential, and well-being that's body, mind, and soul integrated, that takes into account the outstanding unanswered questions of cosmology, quantum physics. I'm tying the whole universe together. What else haven't I shown you here? Everybody, final book, philosopher, David Abram, The Spell of the Sensualist. Spell of the Sensualist, do you know that? We want to talk about. Outsider, outlier, on my own. So much so, I couldn't even get a job in the patent office. I have been homeless for 26 months. And to get somebody smart enough and with a broad enough vision of wanting to understand life, right? Every cell has consciousness. Now, here's my friend. It's all been lovely, and this has been a performance creative. Here, my friend, is the thesis that may create a Nobel. Understanding a crucial component of life on Earth, all life, every single-celled amoeba up to us, until you sort of have moved beyond the seeing is believing paradigm, the faulty, flawed, and fraudulent paradigm of the whiteness thought tradition. Seeing is believing. And the dark energy, dark matter, these are things that we just can't see. So why are we running experiments to look? The cosmic background radiation. You do some hearing into these voids. Well, we got a problem, right? Light goes faster than sound. I mean, get on my pie chart. I don't know why I couldn't just tell you the pie chart, but it's like, let's show you where we're at. On the Pacific, Monterey Bay. When is it an ocean and when is it a bay? It's no more perspective to say. I'm working as well on becoming the philosopher laureate of California through the poet laureate of California. So working on my poetry. All right. bioelectromagnetism explains how you take Gödel's incompleteness theorem, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, and Helfrich's, that's me, life-centric complexity axiom. Quantum physiology. Circuitry. Concentric resonance. That way I, told you I lost 90% of my ability to walk and talk. This is not, no, when I fixed the deficiency, I went into serious proficiency. We're right there. We're at the evolution of consciousness. I am demonstrating the evolution of consciousness, which is simply being mentally fit enough to choose when to go into altered states of consciousness, to have experienced many of them. Performance, we'll just stick with performance because that's what this is. Cutting edge science from a philosopher of physiology, parsed through hashtag stand-up philosophy. Let's get us all involved. Let's get as many people coming together as possible. Kind of like following the Truman Show of, what's consciousness? We'll get a little core group of people, expertises, and I'll find a few other random outsiders. Let's solve consciousness. Let's get us all into this mystery. She's Sherlocking human functioning. Because here's the deal. At least in the U.S. of hypocrisy, 90% of chronic lifestyle, disease, illness, conditions, syndromes, dysfunctions, they're not due to biochemical causes. Biochemistry is what's going on, but what caused the biochemistry to go up? We're telling people, here's how the biochemistry works. Let's get some pills and we'll sell you a bunch of stuff. But why is the biochemistry doing what it's doing? Bioelectromagnetism. There's Zanzi. Eucalyptus season. Under a great eucalyptus tree. Invasive species that they are in California. I talk to plant people. But that's a callback to my last Socratic improv. I don't see dead people. It's happening at black and white on the thing. But I had to tell you all I solved this dark energy system situation. Very important. Anti-racism must be, we need to put it out there. We're all African ancestrally. We have to get beyond that really quickly. We need a global hive mind of people not trashing the planet. A global hive mind of people stopping all this judging and hatred and violence. So it's because of a faulty, flawed, and fraudulent economic system billions of people don't have clean air or water or adequate nutrition and shelter. We are a failed species, and the billionaires are building their ejector seat. This is a philosophy of science at the cutting edge of saving this species from self-extincting. Paco, let me get some data. I have some experiments with tuning forks, plants. Very quickly I can set up some hypotheses. What consciousness really is and how it works vibrationally. Bio-electromagnetism. Y'all think neuroscience is the hot field. Bioelectromagnetism. Physiology and consciousness. That research, that combination, where all the good stuff is, folks. It's where we're going to get a lot of answers. And it's sort of like a both and. With the flip-flopping and things. Works this way with both and. Consciousness can change the world. But only when you're having fun. When you're all optimized in your pleasure zone. Evolution needs updated. It's this biphase I was talking about. Tie the whole Socratic improv together. Natural selection for a while, and yes, could continue in random. But at a certain point, organisms evolved for more pleasure, for more optimization. The pleasure principle of evolutionary logic explains us and all of our crazy ways. We need to optimize the mental fitness of humans on this planet right now. Give everyone a little bit more bandwidth. And that is a function of very deficient endocannabinoid systems. The eucalyptus, my rim shot. Planta Sapiens, harmony.